Hey, how's it going? James Little here, and in this video I'm going to be talking about how you can build a recurring income as a web freelancer. So when you're working as a web freelancer, generally what a lot of freelancers do is they will start working on a project. So it'll be something like a new website development or a new e-commerce development, and they'll go through the full development life cycle. So they'll design everything, develop it, build it, and deliver. And this is something that I've been guilty of for a number of years as well, is that once the project has been delivered, that I would generally just hand the project over and not engage with the client that I've just done a really good job with. And what eventually I realized is that if someone's just built a website out, the chances are that they aren't necessarily just finished with their whole online journey. In fact, they're just getting started. So there's so many other things that as a web developer you can help them with. You can provide them with value and understanding of what those next steps may look like. So the journey doesn't really have to stop with your clients after that first project delivery. It can be the case that, say for instance, if you want to help them with something like digital marketing, and you don't necessarily have those skills yourself, that's totally fine. You can find companies that will either white label your services. So you can approach them and say, hey, I've got this client in this particular industry. Can you provide them with SEO services or with paid advertising services? Or alternatively, you can even just hire someone, an external freelancer that will provide that service to your clients on an ongoing basis. So I suppose what I'm trying to get at here is that just because you don't necessarily know how to do a certain type of additional work, there are lots of people out there that you can hire that can act on behalf of your company that provide you and your clients with more value. And the thing about working with clients on an ongoing basis is that they're the easiest clients to sell to because they already know you, like you, and trust you. And they've been working with you long enough to know that, hey, if you've done a good job with their website, they're definitely going to be willing to take that business relationship to the next level. So I'm just going to run through a few different examples of potential income streams for, let's say, if you're working on any sort of web design or development project. So the first one is SEO services. So this can either be done white labeled, or you can hire someone and bring them in-house and provide this as an ongoing service. So this can range from anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000 to $5,000 per month per client. So it can pretty quickly build up to be a substantial amount of revenue. The second point is what we'll be a lot more experienced with, which is web maintenance. So let's say if you built out a WordPress website for a client, then you've decided, okay, it's been delivered. What we offer on all of our WordPress websites is we say, all right, at the minimum there's a monthly maintenance package, and it includes backups, plugin updates, 1 hour of maintenance, for example, as our base entry level package. And yeah, I mean, it's already stuff that you're doing, and then whenever the client has a problem or an update that they want, they just shoot over an email to us, and then we just say, yep, no worries, we'll get it done. And for you, it's great because it keeps that kind of recurring income coming through. It's guaranteed amount of work, and it allows for like a smooth relationship for if there's any additional work for bigger features, you can just kind of quote it out separately and go from there. The next point is for server hosting. So for a while I was kind of worried and I didn't know too much about server hosting, but realizing that it's ridiculously easy to set up server hosting or even get a managed server set up, it's a very easy upsell to provide to clients that provides you with a margin every month of server hosting. And the way we offer server hosting is that we will have that as our very base tier for any sort of ongoing work, if people don't want to go onto a web maintenance plan, then we will say, okay, then just at the bare minimum we have this, which is X amount per month for hosting, and then if there's any extra work that they want, then they just kind of hit us up by email, and then we go from there. And another one I've got down here is for Audi Retainers. So Audi Retainers, that is where if your client has like ongoing custom needs for changing, functionality or adding new features in the month, every month, then you can do a group or a bundle deal where you discount your hours and provide, like, let's say 4 to 6 hours work per month, and then you just reduce your rate by say 20% or something. And how we set that up is via Stripe. So we do a recurring invoice through Stripe, which bills the client every month on that set condition. So we'll either do something like 3 hours and we'll do a 20% discount, or say 3 to 6 hours. And then generally anything higher than that, then we will just invoice it manually, where we'll track things through timesheets and then send the invoice just through our accounting software at the end of the month. The next point is for paid advertising. So paid advertising is one of those things as a web developer that you generally don't have a lot of experience with, and when I was getting started I had no idea about it, so I just totally avoided it. But at the same time I was starting to realize like that's the way everything was moving, and I had to start to learn a little bit about it. So now we offer these services for some specific industries. We'll do Facebook advertising for some specific industries, but in other cases we have partners which we refer our social media advertising to, or PPC advertising on Google to, where they will provide us with like a referral fee, and we have like a partnership between them where if they need web development work they will talk to us and then refer work our way, and we kind of work interchangeably there. So there's a few more things. Like there's plenty of different ways you can offer recurring services to your clients. I'll just go through the last few super quickly, but depending on the type of business, let's say if it was a jewelry store or a restaurant or a bar, then you can offer something like online reputation management, which can be as simple as providing the service to clients where you're managing their Google business listing. So when someone types in their business online, they'll see, okay, it's got 5-star reviews, and ideally if you are on top of your management, you can set up software to automatically email out to clients to request for reviews and provide that business listing with like an ongoing review stream, which for most businesses, it sounds super easy, but most businesses don't have the time to do it, or just even understand the importance of having a online presence on something like Google or Google Maps. So there's that, and then the last 2 points. So one is for ongoing consulting. So if it's a client where it's, say, a web application and there's ongoing development required, then you can provide your consulting services either for an hourly fee or a fixed retainer each month, where you're providing people with that expert knowledge of saying, okay, look, we need to work on the server infrastructure. There's a few bottlenecks when we're having a high load on these days, or things like that, where you're just providing your insights as to how to improve their web app experience and ultimately improve their business, if that's something that is critical to their revenue and their business running. And the last point is CRO, so conversion rate optimization. This in itself is a massive topic, and it can be, there are a lot of businesses out there that just offer this service as a standalone. And essentially what this is providing your website that you're working on has a lot of traffic going to it. So either it's ranking really well on Google, or there is paid ads running to it. Then CRO is essentially testing different variables on a page and aiming to improve the conversion or the purchase rate, or whatever the goal is of the specific web page or website itself, so that so that they can ultimately make more money. So you can charge either hourly for this or provide it as a fixed kind of retainer for clients. And yeah, so like I said, you can you don't have to be the one that's necessarily doing the work, and that's what put me off for ages. Like I just thought, okay, I need to know how to do all these things that I just talked about, and ultimately, like if you're not the one that's doing it, it doesn't matter. Like the client is very interested in the result, and providing you can understand some partners that have created results for similar clients in the past, or if you can find a freelancer that's good or a vendor that can deliver the service, then it's your duty to help your client as much as possible. And if you can connect the dots and provide that service and even be the middleman, then it's a great way to add recurring revenue to your business. And I definitely recommend that you try to add at least one recurring service to each client that you have. Because like I said, it's the easiest sell that you can ever make. If you've done a good job for your clients. If you've done a bad job, they're probably happy to cut ties, and you may be the same. So probably not worth trying to upsell the unhappy clients. But if it's someone that they've actually enjoyed working with you, and you've enjoyed working with them, then there's always going to be an additional way you can help them along their journey online. Cool, so I hope someone got something out of this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.